So, before I bring up your next comedian of the night, I would just like to give you a little bit of an overview as to, because it is the first year anniversary, the paper anniversary. No one's thrown any paper yet, but I'm waiting. The reason that I started this show a year ago is for a number of reasons. One, I was bored, and I know the owner of the Vitti. This is a great venue. Secondly, I thought that I might actually be able to make some money from doing this. But no, it gets better, because at that point in my life I was kind of high up. It's not that much better now, but absolutely. But I tried many things back then to make money. One of which, it's funny just to say it out loud. I thought that I might be able to make some money selling art.
Your art is good.
It is good, but no one buys it, Elliot.
I can help.
You can help?
Yep.
All right. Well, I have some here, right? In fact, one of the prize tonight will be one of my artworks. Oh, guys. It all work.
Beautiful.
So these are available for sale. The overriding message that I've got from trying to sell my artwork from people is you don't have to buy it. That's the message I've been getting from people. Because they don't buy it. Right? But because I do need money and I've realized that making art prints doesn't work, I've decided to stop trying to do that. And I've been doing a lot of research on how to actually make money and build wealth. I've been doing a lot of research into, you might have heard of index funds or ETFs, investing. Right? I've been doing a lot of research on that. And after long, extensive research into how to make money, I have decided to start painting pine cones.
Yes!
This is so much better, right? Look at this.
Sold.
Because I'm planning to retire in the next year.
Yeah.
And index funds, the value is in the assets. People put a lot of time and energy into making a company, making something worth something. And I put a lot of time and effort into this. I think this is the way to go, everybody.
If you position it as a sex toy, that's the future.
I haven't thought of that.
Does it come with a lubricant?
It's called If You're Brave Enough.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You just put yourself out there, ideas come to you.
Texas tickler.
Right? So I want you to know this is available. This is not the prize. Okay, for the joke fund. This is too valuable. This I'm keeping this. This is going to be my retirement fund. A demonstration. Ramsey, do you want to come on to the stage?
Idea man. I talk a lot.
We got any volunteers? Brave. Maybe for the next show. For the next show, I'll put this clip up on social media. We'll get someone to do it.
I'm sure you can find it.
But I do want to say, like I said, the art is for sale, right? And do you know that Hitler wanted to be an artist?
Michael, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do you want to talk about
I'm
something?
fine. Do you know that Hitler? Do you know that? You know that.
Yeah.
He actually applied to be in the Arts Academy of Vienna.
But he got rejected.
He got rejected.
Because he was better at architecture.
Right.
Yeah.
But his art wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. You can Google Hitler art. It's actually not bad. The problem was he wasn't doing anything original. He hadn't found his voice. Yeah. He got rejected by the Academy of Vienna, so he gave it up. Right, and he turned to his other talents. Right, and you'll know that's it out. So what I'm going to try and say on my behalf is, I also know how to organize, and I know how to speak in public. Okay.
I will buy it.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? That's good.
Also,
I am an artist, yeah.
So the point I'm making is, buy some fucking artwork, right? Because I don't know what I'm capable of if this art career doesn't take off. Lives are at stake, guys. If you want to make the world a better place, just buy something, and I won't have to, kill 6 billion people, right? I'm capable. Sorry? I don't know, right? All I know is I have all the same skills he has. I have charisma, organization, and I'm bitter.
Right now, the world is overpopulation. We need less people in the world.
Oh, she's enabling you. That's so wrong.
I will find some group to pin it all on. I don't know who it will be. Maybe it'll be the Guineas. I don't know.
No, it doesn't have to be nationality or race. It can be like, I don't know, people
You're missing
who
the
don't
point.
shower
The
twice
point
a
is
day.
we can get around that by just buy an artwork and everyone can live. Okay? They will be available at the end of the show. I'll put them on the table or something. But that's enough for me. Are you ready for your next comedian of the night, everybody? Okay. All the way from the United States, just for tonight. Please give it up for Jillian Harwin coming to the stage.
Dun, 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 dun. My cunt, my country's calling me. Asshole, a soldier I will be. Yeah. Two pistols by my side. A horsey I will ride. Woo! Speaking of my cunt, my vagina, I don't like to call it a vagina anymore because I did some studying on etymology, right? The origin of words. And it turns out that vagina means sheath for a sword. Like a sheath where you put your sword. And I was like, I'm 5 years into menopause. There have been no swords in my sheath. No, it's fine. I lived in Brooklyn for like 15 years. I got a lot of sheaths. The swords were filling my sheath. Anyway, so I changed the name of, I needed a name for my cunt, my vagina. Cunt is actually a really like highly used word in England. Are there any British people besides Michael? Right, cunt is like super, cunt, all the cunt, okay. Anyway, so I was looking for a name for my lady part. My Vagenifer. No, but that's a good one. Vagenifer, I like that. I have a friend whose name is Jennifer. I think I'll tell her, you should name your vagina Vagenifer. No, so I was looking, I tried some stuff out, like the Pink Panther. What else did I try? Oh, shit. Clint Eastwood. But turns out, okay, so how many people are American here? United Statesans? Okay, well, in my country, when you go to the airport, you have to scan this machine that like scans your body and it looks at your outline to make sure you're not smuggling shit. Well, turns out this machine is optional. And it started like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, they started putting these machines in the airport. So my friend and I were like, fuck that machine. Because when you're in the United States and you get arrested, you stand like this. Getting ready to put the hammer. So same thing in this machine. I'm like, I'm not fucking standing in that machine. I'm trying to go on an airplane to take a trip. I don't want to feel like I'm being arrested. So we boycotted. And so you just have to do female opt-out, and then they take you around and they get a female TSA worker to come and like give you a full body pat down to make sure you're not smuggling any drugs or guns or whatever. So they take you over to the side and they're like, would you like a private screening? And I'm like, no, just let's let everyone watch. I'm a little bit of a voyeur. Have you guys been to El Saler, the beach? You can have sex there. Anyway, you can watch other people have sex there too. It's great. Anyway, so then she takes you, so like, okay, and it's always a female, because female. I've seen actually people that are non-gender specific, and they're like, do you want a man or a woman to feel you up? Like, what's your choice today?
Depends on the man.
Exactly. Usually I get hot chicks, so I'm always like, female. So these beautiful women that work at the TSA, and they're like, they give you the speech. Okay, I'm going to give you a full body pat down. Your sensitive areas, I'm going to use the backs of my hands. And then when I slide my hands up your legs, I'm going to stop when I meet resistance. And I'm like, You just named my vagina, Miss TSA lady. So my cunt is named Resistance, which is what my hat says right here. It's the age of resistance. And we're having like a whole new relationship because I am in menopause or post-menopause or whatever. My hormones left my body. So we masturbate quite a bit, but she's tired. She's really tired. But she is fighting resistance and she's doing a good job. Good job. Woo! So I was trying to decide what to tell you guys about tonight. I'll add one more thing about my logo because it says the age of resistance, and then that's resistance with a microphone doing stand-up comedy. And on the other side it says put it back. So you guys are also in the presence of a convicted teenage shoplifter. That's right.
I knew it.
My sisters were stealing back in the day and coming home with like loads of free clothes, and I'm like, I want in on that shit, but I couldn't drive. I was 13. But turned out my sister and her boyfriend, they were going shoplifting at Nordstrom that day, and I'm like, I'm going with you. So we go, we shoplift, we do all this stuff. They hadn't left the store, but I had 2 bags just full of new free clothes, and I'm like, yes, I am getting away with this. I walk out the door. Yeah, nobody's following. This is fucking great. I got all these new clothes for free. I'm like, woo, I'm high from shoplifting. And all of a sudden I hear this, boop, boop, boop. Nordstrom security, come with us. And I'm like, fuck. And of course my sister and her boyfriend didn't leave Nordstrom, so they didn't really get caught. But clearly they had like bags full of clothes that they were planning to steal also. Anyway, because I was 13 underage, there wasn't really anything to do. It wasn't like a put you in jail kind of a crime or even like juvenile hall. But they did make me join a program called, you guys ready for this?
The resistance.
Put it back. Put it back. And I still have not learned how to put it back. I still get a little zing when I shoplift something from, like the airport store, get some free NyQuil or something. Stupid shit. Anyway, so that button still lives to this day. Put it back, everybody. So this is the next part of my thing. We have the age of resistance, put it back. And that can mean anything. Like if you're on a date and the dude takes out his dick and you're like, it's not good, you'd be like, yeah, put it back. Or like, if you get some like a bad meal, you can be like, chef, put it back. So use the put it back, everybody. Either put stuff back or tell people to just like put it back. So then I was like, okay, am I going to tell you guys about, I have lots of things that I've named in my life, lots of things. I get named lots of different names. Sad story. My dad died a year ago in June, so I've been 1 year without a dad, which sucks. Is anyone else in the no dad club?
No.
Stupid club. I hate it. But my dad was awesome. He was a great guy. So I am in my family like the black sheep or whatever, and I've also been named the Truth Fairy. Why? Well, because my uncle, who died probably like 20 years ago, he was a Vietnam vet, he had a hard life, but he was like the coolest guy. He was handsome, he was funny, he was classic. He told me stories all the time. He owned a scrap metal yard in Miami, Florida, and like shot a guy. Like he's crazy, right? He's done all kinds of mad things in his life. And so one time he told me this story, how when he was in Vietnam, he was a helicopter pilot. And my mom was a stewardess for Pan Am. So Pan Am was like the only international airline. So they were bringing all the supplies for the Vietnam War in their big jets. So my mom goes and she meets up with her brother, and my mom has all these cute Pan Am stewardess friends. And so of course my uncle, he's like pretty much already a heavy alcoholic at this point. This is like his second or third tour in Vietnam. And so he meets up with my mom, they hang out, they go up in a helicopter. My mom, and this is the story I remember from when I was like 12 years old, right before the shoplifting, that he went up in the helicopter and my mom got to fly the helicopter while he showed her the controls in the back, which clearly means that, they were boning in the helicopter, or he was at least getting a blowjob. Anyway, so at his funeral, we were all there celebrating his life and whatever, and like I got up and he was like a ladies' man. So that was like my speech theme. My uncle was a ladies' man. He had these 2 daughters that he loved so much. He had these wives that he loved so much, and he was with Rosemary, his last wife, and like he loved my mom so much, and he was a ladies' man. And in fact, when my mom went to Vietnam and visited him, and I told the story, I didn't tell it quite so dirty as I just told you guys. I made it like funeral clean. Anyway, it turns out that that woman, that my uncle, whatever happened with her in the helicopter, he had just gotten married to my Aunt Daisy right before that Vietnam tour. So basically, I told my uncle's infidelities at his funeral. Truth fairy! And I had no idea, because I was a 12-year-old kid, just like, yeah, my uncle, my mom's helicopter, woohoo! Not realizing that he had just married my Aunt Daisy. And of course my Aunt Daisy was there, and the look on her face, she was like, looked at my mom, she's like, I can't believe you didn't tell me. And it just turned into this whole fucking shit show. Family's complicated. Anyway, we're all mended up now and everything's fine. But turns out, every time someone in my family dies, I gotta fucking say some shit. So, when I was in high school, my dad's business partner was laundering drug money for like one of the biggest drug dealers in San Francisco. So he got murdered because the drug dealer got caught and sent out hitmen to all the people that like knew too much. So Uncle Charlie gets murdered. This was when I was in high school. And so it was kind of covered up, like they didn't tell me that much because I was young and whatever. And so then, but of course, like his brains were blued out. Like my dad chased the guy who shot him in his car, and it was like this whole thing. Like I was there. So anyway, my dad dies, when this all happened, when I was in high school, my mom was really embarrassed about it. She was like, you know, what are the people gonna think, and like just all the bullshit and whatever. So anyway, so I take my nephew, my youngest nephew, out to eat burritos. And I had just come from seeing my Aunt Michelle, who was there when my uncle was murdered. Like, she got blood splattered all over her. So I'm sitting there telling my nephew this story, because I'm like, I just came from Aunt Michelle's. He's like, who's Aunt Michelle? And I'm like, dude, Aunt Michelle, Uncle Charlie, like, you don't know this story? He's like, no, I don't know this story. He's 15 or 16. So I tell him this whole story about how, and then my dad, when I went to college, by that time, 2 years had passed. And so then my dad had got like caught by the FBI for signing some shit that he didn't know about that was tied to my Uncle Charlie. So I went to college and my dad went to prison. It was crazy. So I was telling my nephew this story, and then of course what happens, my nephew tells my sister tells my mom, turns into this whole shit show. Truth fairy strikes again. So I got kind of thrown under the bus a little bit, but again, everybody's all fine now, everything's fine. It's what happens with the truth. The truth is sometimes a little hard for people to handle, but it's okay. We're all human, right? At the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen in life. Anyway, so I encourage you all to name your genitals, put it back, and always tell the truth. That's my time. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Jillian, everybody. Give it up for Jillian, everybody. I just realized I don't have a name for my genitals, so I'm very open to suggestions.
What's your name?
Michael.
Barbie.
Barbie. Any more suggestions?
Kent, the truth.
The truth.
Because it's hard to handle and not everyone wants to hear about.
That's good. That's good.
The little one.
You're not giving good suggestions. I like the truth.
Michael Jr.
Sorry?
Michael Jr.
Michael Jr.
Say hello.
Michael Senior.
That's basically like little.
Michael Senior.
Michael
I like
Senior.
the truth. I like the truth. Say it again.
Michael Jackson.
Sorry, Michael Jackson. You guys should hook up. You've got really good, really bad suggestions.
If you say to somebody it's Barbie and then they see it, you're like, ha
Have you seen it? No, say it again. Say the tagline again.
Because that's, you can't call it.
It's too hard to handle and not everyone wants to hear it.
Too hard to handle. I like that. Too hard to handle. We've got a winner. Round of applause for this. Not these two, for that guy.
But everyone's getting it.
You need your own genitals, right? This is good.
Well,
All right. Thank you.
Can I get one of your art pieces?
if you got money,
I got
we
jokes.
can work something out. We can work out more names.
Okay, sure.
Like 3 names. Anyway, are you ready for your next comedian?
Yeah.
Please give it up for Miss Cole Vitti. Vitti again, coming to the stage.
That is, in fact, my real name, much to the chagrin of all my teachers. But I feel like going into comedy just made sense. It was already Cole Vitti, but it's spelled wrong, so then it's a jab at my English teacher, so that feels good to me. Is everyone down for a deep breath? Because I'm feeling nervous. Or choose a hold, but don't choose a hold. Let's use this one. Nice deep breath. So one of the craziest things I've been learning since I've been in Valencia is new places I sweat that I didn't know I sweat there. Like I was walking yesterday and my kneecaps were sweating. What is this? And then my upper lip. I have a sweat stash. Like, I don't know if people with big facial hair, if it just makes it a slide so it leaves faster, or if it helps like conserve it so it doesn't look so, it's like I leave the house, my hair's all done, my makeup's all done, I'm feeling cute. A block from the house, it's like my makeup's melting and my eye is already on my cheekbone. It's like my eyeball is completely dropped. By the time I get to where I'm going, I feel like I just crawled out of Mordor. And depending what outfit I wore, it's like clinging weird. So it's like I'm trying to, when no one's looking, like do some kind of weird shake just to get like some air on some of the side streets. And by the time I arrive, I feel like those goblin-y things from Lord of the Rings, what were they called? Come on, where's my nerds? What are those goblins? Thank you. Orcs. I get there, my hair's like separating. I'm like heavy, I'm no longer even standing cute anymore. And then by the time I get home, I'm just like, over to my fan, and throw my clothes over it and just kind of like, my precious. Trying to just act like a little parachute and let the air travel as many places as it possibly can. Just like, we don't like the Celsius. That's what I actually do. Like, this isn't a bit. I'm just letting you what's going on in here. And just so you know, 20 years of therapy doesn't help it. So I'm a little different. And maybe it's because I grew up Mormon. It is because I grew up Mormon. Being Mormon, are there any Mormons here? There's usually not. Ta-da! Which is great, because then no one knows what I'm talking about. Except, growing up Mormon, so there's churches and there's temples. And I grew up in Utah, so I'm like an ethnic Mormon.
Do you know any of the secret lives of Mormon wives?
I don't know any of them. I don't think they were born when I grew up there. I think they're all like my husband's daughter's age at this point. You're right. Thank you. Close. If you double it, you're almost there. So, I'm a little under. I'm exaggerating. So, and actually there's so many stories of Mormons. So, when you want to go to a Mormon temple, you have to be following all of the rules. No premarital sex, no drugs, no cheating, no lying, no coffee. So, none of you probably, right? Certainly not me. And then there's Mormon churches. Now, you also can't swear or take the Lord's name in vain. Those are like the worst things you could do, is to swear or take the Lord's name in vain, is like at the top. And there's kind of 3 main kingdoms to heaven. There's the celestial kingdom, there's the terrestrial kingdom, there's the telestial kingdom, and then there's outer darkness. So we have 3 heavens. So I feel it's kind of like you can shoot your shot and you're probably gonna like land in one anyway. But I remember growing up and I'm like, well, how do you go to each heaven? Well, the celestial kingdom, you have to follow all the rules. But like, what are we gonna do there? Play like lawn darts? Like what are we gonna eat? Because Mormons love Jell-O. This is a Utah thing. They put Jell-O in, like everything in Jell-O. Carrots, cottage cheese, fruit, cottage cheese in whipped cream in Jell-O, right? I grew up different. So I was like, well, I don't want to go there. Because I looked at the people that would go there, and I'm like, I don't want to spend 10 minutes with them. So the next kingdom down is the terrestrial kingdom. And that's where the bad Mormons go. That's where I would go, right? So like, I don't want to live there because my husband can't go there. What, are we going to have a summer home in the other heaven? Like I go visit? So I don't want to be there. Next is the celestial kingdom. And they said that's kind of like Earth. I'm like, maybe. I'm figuring it out, right? And so I remember just thinking like, but where are the gays going? Because like, that's where I want to go. It's going to be better parties, better food, better playlists for sure. Like, where is RuPaul going? That's where I want to go. And so once I established that, then I was like, okay, you know, I was raised different, and it's okay to be different. But there's something I noticed when I left living in Utah. I didn't know how most movies go. Because we couldn't swear, we couldn't watch PG-13, couldn't watch rated R. I don't know if anyone was raised Orthodox or in a very strict religious community. Like everyone lives in the same neighborhood, they go to the same church, everyone knows everyone's business. Small towns can happen like this too. So like, there was a company called Clean Flicks, and they would take movies and Mormonize them. Not legal, yes, story for another day. So they would take out the swear words, the sex scenes, whatever, to make it rateable for Mormons. But imagine watching like Pulp Fiction. It would just be the scene with Samuel L. Jackson being like, that's a tasty burger. Credits. So all these years, I didn't actually know. I thought Pulp Fiction was maybe like, I don't know, the vegetables in the burger or some shit. I don't know. So then think of cult classics that I grew up watching, where it's like, there's a big monster coming through Tokyo, taking out buildings and shit. Japanese people are fleeing. Remember, I can't swear. They see the lizard, he's taking out the city. Ah! Gosh, Zilla! Can't take the Lord's name in vain, my friends. So I grew up different. But since moving to Valencia, this is a new kind of humidity. It's very different. It's very, I'm adjusting still. I'm going to tell you a very quick story to wrap it up here. Because it just happened at San Juan. Anyone else go out to the Noche de San Juan? Anybody go? Okay. This is my first time going. Jumped the waves. I did all the traditional things. On the ride home, I'm holding onto the rail on the tram. It's very crowded. It feels New York City, summertime, at rush hour. Okay? I'm holding the bar. This woman comes and stands behind me, and we're the same height. We're back to back, shoulder to shoulder. We are cheeks to cheeks. Like it was an eerie sensation of familiarity, like to feel yourself mirrored. Super weird. All of a sudden I feel a little rumble. I'm like, surely it's the tram. Because we're above ground, it's a little shaky. In fact, no, my friends. If orcs had, I don't know, if they came and breathed on you, like, it was that, but like, coming out. And I didn't want to clench my cheeks and fear it might like suck it in. And I'm a little too sweaty and a little too uncomfortable already. So I don't know if her soul left her body, but some soul did. And when I got off the tram, luckily we missed our stop, so we had to walk further home. It was like the walk of shame, my friends. Like it was heavy. If you could wear shame on the outside, I'd always experienced it as a Mormon on the inside. But I wore that shit like a cloak home, carrying my shoes, swinging them, just like a different kind of heat. So we all get to learn these new lessons in life, but my friends, I grew up a little different. Thank you so much. My name is Cole Whitty.
Give it up for Cole Whitty one more time. So we've got one last comedian for you before you can go outside and be free from this heat.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's very hot. Right? I've been trying to hydrate the whole night. I must have had like 7 doubles, and I still feel dehydrated.
You should drink pints.
Sorry?
You should drink.
That's a good idea. I'm going to order one right after this. But give it up for your next comedian, the last comedian coming to the stage, everybody. Please give it up for Max Mitchell. Coming to the stage.
It's been a while since you heard Adele, right? When you're my age, you're kind of out of the music loop. You get to find out about these things 5 or 6 or 7 years later. Hi everybody! Hi Max Mitchell! Hi!
This microphone smells like somebody's titties.
Sorry.
Yeah. I usually like them big, black, and hard, but this is a little different. Oh my God! So wow, thank you for sticking with us, guys. You know, a lot of these people just left. It's a tough night. You guys, you stayed with us. So let's. The world has gone to fucking shit, but let's try and have a few laughs.
Yeah.
Okay, so they say that terrorists will target anywhere large crowds gather, so we're kind of safe here tonight. I'm Canadian. I was born in Canada. Canada and the United States have a couple of things in common. We both want to build a wall along our southern border to keep out the riffraff from the south. I'm Irish. Both my parents were Irish, so alcoholism ran in my family. My oldest brother was an alcoholic, drunk, cocaine addict. He could recite, he was born again Christian too, so he could recite the Lord's Prayer in like 1.2 seconds. My other brother was a pothead, and he could recite the Lord's Prayer in about 4 minutes. My oldest brother died recently, and I was asked to sing at his funeral. So it was an opportunity. Gillian, we have this in common. Is Gillian still here?
Yeah, right here.
Oh yeah. So my brother, who had abused and taken advantage of me, I got to sing at his funeral. So I did 10 minutes of stand-up where I basically worked him over. And you should have seen the look on all my cousins are standing there, and they're going like, can we laugh at this? You know, and so it was really interesting because the reason I want to get back, I'll just tell you a really quick story. I'm the gay brother, right? So whenever they have marital problems, straight guys, I don't know how many straight guys are here. So when you have marital problems, you send in your gay brother, right? To talk to the wife and fix things up. This is what he would do. So one time I'm summoned to Detroit, Michigan to patch things up with his wife. And we get there, and I'm talking to his wife, we get along great, and all of a sudden, my brother, who's insane, he's either drunk or high on coke or high on Jesus, one or the other, and he comes running in, screaming and hollering. Her kids start screaming and hollering. The next thing you know, they're calling their father, because he's not their father. Their father comes over and arrives at the house with a gun, and so my brother says, come on, we got to get out of here, and it's snowing, there's a winter storm in Michigan. We're in the car, we're driving, and we're swerving around on the snow, and my brother's wife's first husband is behind us, ramming us from behind. He says, we got to get out of here. I can beat him. My car's heavier than his. He's got a gun. I said, I can't do this. You're driving me crazy. And what happened was, I said, slow down when you go around this corner. And I had been a gymnast in high school, and he opened the car door as we went around the corner in a snowstorm, and I rolled and tumbled out of this car into the ditch as he drove off. And I was so I'm speaking, doing stand-up at his funeral, and this is my chance to get even, right? So I let her rip. And my cousin, who was about my brother's age, was there, and when I finished, he turned to everyone and he says, I love this. I want this when I die. So I got another gig out of it. Now I'm just waiting for my cousin to die. So I moved to New York City after, I was an actor for a while. I moved to New York City to take classes. I fell in love with New York City, so I lived there for a long time. And I was a bartender in a place called Ted Oaks Backstage in the theater district. And this is where all the big stars would come after the Broadway shows. They would come there for dinner at like 10:30 at night. And so they were all like, night after night, you would see people, they would get loaded, like Rock Hudson, Debbie Reynolds, all these people would get carried out of there. It was really fun. But one season, the Radio City Music Hall was doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And so the dwarfs came to drink at my bar. And, I need a bar stool. Okay, anyway, so the bar, these two dwarfs would come and they would climb up the bar stool like it was a ladder, and they would start drinking, and they'd get really drunk. And this one guy, night after night, would do the same thing. He would drink scotch till he got so loaded, and then he would look up at me and he would say, "I'm bashful." Okay, so I have a lot of celebrity stories from that. I won't go too far into it. I love Valencia. Everybody here live in Valencia? Yeah. Isn't Valencia great?
Yeah.
I love it. It's just that a lot of the old gay, there's a lot of them, so many Americans here, right? There's so many Americans in Valencia that the schools have started doing active shooter drills. But, the biggest complaint that I hear from these old gays is there's too much foreskin. It's like, in the United States, 72% of the men are circumcised. So that's the norm. Like in Valencia, Spain, 6% of the men are circumcised, are not circumcised. 6% are circumcised. So if you're a fan of foreskin, this is your town. I was reading today that social media is bad for us. I don't think I could go to the bathroom without social media. I really don't. Like, I need to sit. I sit there and I'm okay. There's no stools left. I'll have to use a stool here. If I can't sit like this and look, I'm looking at guys on Scruff, and it takes my mind off the fact that it's hard to pee at my. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 76 years old, and it's like it's harder and harder to pee. So I need something to take my mind off how hard it is to pee. So I'm sitting here scrolling on Scruff, looking at profile after, and all these guys bragging about how hung they are, and all I can think about is my husband says, "It's not hung, it's hanged." It's a little English grammar lesson, but hung is not a proper term, it's hanged. So I think it would be really fun to put in my profile, "well hanged." Anyway, so you sit there and you scroll and it takes your mind off of it, and then you see, the one guy you see who really, really does it for you. And all of a sudden, you really can't pee because you're aroused, right? It's hard enough to pee when you're old, but when you're old and you have an erection, it's really, really, really difficult to pee. So I think social media is good for us. I don't know why. You should, I've done a lot of shows here at Vitti. Are you guys all regulars? Because there's a guy who comes and sits here. We hooked up twice. His name's Javier. Is Javier here tonight? No. Well, this is the hookup chair. If you want a three-way with like a couple of abuelos, this is the chair. You just sit in there, and you come over there. Our house is great because we're right beside an emergency room. We serve low-sodium food. There's a farmacia across the street. It's really a great location. And anyway, okay. I didn't get my stool, I got my chair, but I don't have to pee yet, but I'll let you know that happens. So I just got back from California. Everybody here from California? From California, they're all crazy there right now. It's so expensive. And then you have fucking Trump, who's they're going out of their minds. Like, people here, at least, you were somewhat distanced from it, but they're all kind of living in this bubble. They're all driving Teslas. And we had two friends who have two Teslas each. One of them had 3 Teslas. Said, "Here, take a Tesla." And these cars they have self-driving cars. And so we went out to lunch. The guy says, look, the car can drive itself. And then we're like, no, shit. It was really scary because the car actually, on the way to lunch, this car made a couple of mistakes. So, and we're supposed to sit there and trust it. So he says, oh, it's great. He just tells it to park. So we go to lunch. We come out from lunch and we're standing in front of the restaurant. He says, I'll tell the car to pick us up. So you press a button and the car comes like way over there. The car comes out of the parking space and comes and gets us. He said he can get drunk at the bar, tell the car to come and pick him up, and then take him home. Unbelievable. I said, well, my great-great-grandfather had a horse that could do that. No, literally, I'm not kidding. It really, it would take him home, and the horse would go in the barn, and my grandmother would wake up in the morning, go to the barn, and find my great-great-grandfather sleeping in the hay beside the horse. And they call Tesla's progress. So, and the other thing is, you can pick up a guy in a bar, you can go to your car, you can get in the back seat, you can fuck in the back seat while the car drives you home. And if the police stop you, the car will text your license and registration to the police while you continue to have sex in the back seat of the Tesla. Woo-hoo! This is progress. You can't do that on a horse, no matter how hung the horse is. Straw's cheaper. Grass is free. Oh my God. Anyway, so we used to live there. My husband, Elliot, sitting over there. We used to live in Palm Springs, California. Anybody been there? Palm Springs is the only place I've ever lived where you can run into your favorite porn star at the Social Security office. Palm Springs is composed of old tourists, old retirees, and old gays. And so if you're not in one of those demographics, you lose. And businesses cater to them. I went to yoga for seniors, and I learned a new pose, downward spiral. And even though, words have different meaning, like versatile means you can nap in any position. A friend with benefits is just somebody who'll pick up your prescriptions for you. And a three-way just means somebody's bringing a caregiver. I'm learning Spanish, by the way. I wanted to tell you, I'm learning Spanish. I have this app on my phone called Grindr. Green Day. Okay. Oh, lo siento. Green Day. So, in Palm Springs, because they cater to old men, so when you drive into Palm Springs, your Grindr automatically switches over to the new hookup app for seniors called Geezer. And on Geezer you can search for guys who are like net worth over $5 million, no living relatives, and 5 prescriptions or more. And okay, all right. So we live down the road in this place called Rancho Mirage. Rancho Mirage is like very, very conservative. Rancho Mirage is so conservative that sex with anyone under 40 is considered statutory rape. And they don't have statutory rape in Spain. In the United States, statutory rape is actually when you screw very, very young people. So, anyway, I'm married. My husband is a former flight attendant, so he won't have sex until we're both in the fully upright position. And in retirement, he has become an interior designer. People say, oh, you're so lucky, your husband's an interior designer, you have a beautiful home. But it's intimidating sleeping with someone who's always got a tape measure in their hand. He painted our house 4 different shades of white that are so close together only gay men can tell them apart. It's a second marriage for both of us, so when we fight, we yell, I gave you the second best years of my life! He says we can't have sex anymore now because he's joined the Green Party and they believe in zero emissions. Our neighbors are a throuple. you guys know what a throuple is, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds sexually intriguing to me, but I'm not sure I want two guys asking me if I'm really going to wear that. I've been thinking a lot about it. I want to go on a gay cruise. Not of a park at night. I mean on a ship. That kind of cruise. My husband doesn't want to go, so I got to go by myself. But people say, "Oh, why do you want to do that? It's just a whorehouse on the sea." And I said, "Is there a problem?" Well, why do you want to do that? It's just a bunch of hot young guys who want to have sex all the time. And the problem is, I'm Max Mitchell. Thanks for coming. You guys are great. Thank you.
Give it up to Max Mitchell, everybody. Great to have you back, Max. So we are running a little over time here, and Max, as great as he is very loud, and we are meant to be quiet after 10 p.m. So we're going to do the prize giving very quietly. So luckily for me, no one wrote a joke. No one at all. We really got like so very easily because the winner of the competition is clearly the person who named my genitals. Round of applause for that, and you get a choice of artworks. A choice. So there's 6 of them here. Could someone?
Do I have to choose now?
Overflow it.
This is just like this has like this.
Round of applause for Ramsey, everybody. And thank you all for coming, everybody. It's been the year anniversary show, Paper, guided by Plastic. We'll be back in September with a new host, and it will be cooler than it is right now. So we can look forward to that. Thank you all for coming, everybody. Round of applause for all the comedians. And a round of applause for you for coming. Thank you very much. Good night. My art is available right now if you want to buy it for money. Yeah.
How can I grow up?
Yeah.
I grow up. I want to be this way.
Thank you. That's
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not super.
I think we live in the same
active on
neighborhood.
Instagram, but sure.
I think I've seen you like in the same street.
I might not be.
Yeah.
Like, is easier to download than that's hard for 5 minutes. You have your Instagram? Yeah.
Great set.
There was actually no reason
That's how you do that.
This one is sketched out. This one just started to doodle and then turned into a cat.
Oh, yeah.
I need to explore something new.
So the ones the ones that were kind of yellow one, that was
I'm online originally.
The good one. It's not mine. I wish I could take credit. Take credit.
Your delivery was not the troublemaker. Just trouble.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go back to my sweaty ass and I'm back to my AC.
Dude, our phones are working. What's up,
I did. I did.
follow those
I don't know how it
HVAC.
Luckily, we have like one of those huge industrial
Good for you.
fans, so you turn it on
I get
and
to
you
make
just
up
air
that.
out.
I have my spray bottle, I keep your spray bottle.
I don't know,
fan.
I'm just in my happy place.
We'll just
Like,
pull
let
it out.
the other guy take over.
That's what's happening for me. All right, just nice and sad.
The beginning is fucking like the beginning or something.
I just love that your whole my show is different. Beautiful. See you guys around.
I mean, anyone
Thanks, man.
some performances just makes.
That's ours.
Take a look at it.
No,
He's on that It is. Yeah.
it's already 2 hits in a row.
I know.
Right.
Perfect.
Unlike the Aboriginals, they didn't
I've
take
been
money
sick
either.
for years.
I've been feeling like I want to create. Oh no, sorry. As they do. There's people that have enough posts in their living room.
Love it.
This is like that.
It is. But they were doing it for summer.
First one I did, really.
This one has to be
Either,
certain.
well, we're not big comedy.
That one
either-
was two.
I wasn't scheduled for
I'll find a way to
and
make
then
it.
I was like, well, we fit one more. And I'm like, well, my other one was at like
It makes me
7:15,
think,
so it was early enough.
Keith Haring.
Like,
You just draw his shit all
no,
over
it
the
was
place. Non-stop. You know, the
Yeah,
guy
it's
who's
bilingual,
like
yeah.
six line stick figure.
It was great. It was, it's 25 seats, 25
Check him out. They also did some really dirty shit. Like Keith Haring.
Just to listen.
It depended on the
And
comic.
also, you know,
Because if
Maddie
they start
Claire.
going fast, fucked.
Yeah.
He's good too.
Or if they were very.
He does also very
Spanish
dense.
because I don't, you know, it has to be like present tense.
Keith Haring.
Right.
H-A-R-I-N-G.
Maybe.
Go.
It's worth it. It was good.
And then
Like,
Maddie, M-A-T-I, sorry, Claire, K-L-E-I-R-V-W-C-I-N.
we're out of the
Claire,
booth.
Claire, yeah, you'll find it. So, he was and like cool, really dense, beautiful. He did a lot of albums back in the day. But then he also,
It's like
he
in my,
also
it's like my car,
thrift store.
car,
You got that same vibe. All right, have a great rest of your summer if I don't see you.
yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
What's up? Oh, my phone said.
Awesome.
Mystical, mystical, on how it's really spelled. Mystical, if you just look up my name, there's not other Polies.
I'll lift you up.
Yeah, shoot me a message. We're around all summer while everyone else is running.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
We're going to Canada for a couple of weeks in August. That's like,
Yeah, we'll be gone in October, but otherwise. Our tourist visa is expired and we're waiting for our NIE, so we can't go anywhere